What's up, world? You know it's your boy Rez from the Rez Vlog. Week 3, Overtime Athletes, Athletic Strength Formula. Let's go get it.
Put it down for my team. Put it down for that green. Put it down for my family. They all believe in that dream. Put it down for my squad. Put it down for them guys. Put it down for them day ones. They got a place in my heart. Hella high water, gotta get it all in order. Never taking any orders, cause authority be stepping.
Yeah, I got my blue folder. You know what's up, baby. Let's get straight into it. Week 3. Now we start off always with deadlift day. I came in feeling really good. I got up to 90% of my 1 rep max, so that's what we're building up to, and I got up to 120 kilos, which is 10 kilos more than last week. Then the eccentric is where I absolutely killed it, and I got up to 110 kilos, which is 30 kilos more than last week. 30 kilos, 30 kilos more than last week. And then the deadlift off the pins, it says keep it the same weight, so I did, which is 110 kilos. Easy enough. Then day 2 came in and I started feeling a little bit run down. This is when it started. Bench pressed at 60 kilos. Next one I went into 70 kilos, just straight for the jugular. Only got 2 reps out. So then I dropped back to 60 and then I finished it off. So that was 2.5 kilos down from the week before. The eccentric 60 kilos, same as last week, and off the pins 70 kilos. We come into squat day. When I was at the gym I ran into my boy Mitch Zabrowski, shout out. We had a little bit of a chat and I was telling him, man, I'm feeling really run down. Look, I even wrote on there, burnt out. So I was telling him, yo man, I'm not feeling it. And he said, man, you gotta listen to your body. Now this is what I've been telling people. I say always listen to your body. And so it was a bit sobering to have somebody else tell me that and make me realize, yo, you gotta practice what you preach, dude. So when I came in for the squats, I stayed at 100 kilos, which is 15 kilos down from last week. Now the thing is, I think with my squats, I don't think I'm getting low enough in squats. And that might be due to my hip mobility. Sitting in those goddamn haul trucks all day is just put my whole body out of whack. That's probably why my neck's sore. All this shit, the ergonomics of sitting like that for 12.5 goddamn hours is no good for nobody. So I think my hips are a little, so I gotta work on hip mobility, 100%. So I can get deeper in the squat and probably get better gains. Just scale it back and just come back down to earth. I see why people get addicted to weightlifting, because you start seeing, hey man, I went up 5-10 kilos from last week, and then you just get addicted to that. And now I'm seeing it. The eccentric squat was up 20 kilos. So I was 100 kilos this week. Eccentrics, which is pretty good. Now I bring you squat off the pins. Check the video. It's only 140. Now last week I did 160, but I was a little bit higher off those pins, off the racks, off the rails. This time we'll try 160 at a lower height.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Can't even fucking move it. Get into place, boy. Alright. 150. So, I don't remember. So as you see, by the end of that, I'd had enough. I'd really had enough. So what followed next was the last day, which is the overhead press. So like I said, my forearms were killing me. My whole body was just feeling dead. So I just stayed at what it was last week, which was 50 kilos. The eccentric was 40 kilos, and the overhead off the pins, and I dropped it down to 45 kilos this week. So that was that week in review. Now I'm going to tell you the reason why I think I'm feeling burnt out and why this week wasn't as productive as the last few weeks, and that is probably comes down to my caloric intake. I've been intermittent fasting, and I don't think, for what I'm doing, I don't think it's a good idea. You're putting so much stress on your body, you need to fuel that body, and I don't think I'm doing enough. So the intermittent fasting, I just had a chat today to my boy SWISH. We were on the podcast, I put a link in the description, and we talked about what works for you might not work for me, and what works for me might not work for you. And so a lot of people go, oh, but I do intermittent fasting and blah, blah. Well, that's good, man. That's good for you. It's not working for me. I'm feeling completely run down. My body was just feeling just lethargic. And another thing is, I've never done strength training, fully strength-based training. I've always done more hypertrophy-based stuff. So I think my body is just going, what are you fucking doing to me, man? That's what I'm thinking. We'll test it out. All I do is chuck my breakfast back in and fuel that body. So we'll see. This coming week though is deload week. I've been looking forward to this week. Everything gets scaled back 50% of your 1 rep max. So lighter weights, lighter load, higher volume, and then that finishes phase 1. Then we move on to phase 2 and start again. So that's just where I'm at. This week's episode was brought to you by the letter E for SC. That's our logo. That's our logo. Watch out for us. Album coming very shortly. Also, I'll put a link in the description for the guy who I buy the beats off, David Metropolis. I'll put the link in there, and I'll put the link in for our music, and that's it. That's really all I've got to say. I'll also put a link in the description for the podcast. Me and SWISH, we just talk about, you name it, from sports to more. You know what's up. So anyway, this is it. This is Rez from the Rez Vlog. I'll see y'all next week, same time, same channel. Don't change the dial. Stay safe, stay strong.
Oh, put it down for my team. Put it down for that queen. Put it down for my family.